pregame warm-up presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St.
BlueNote Fan Report. Hello, how is everyone? Sorry, I am having extreme technical difficulty, so I don't know how long I'm going to be on. My laptop, my main laptop, keeps shutting down. So that's the one I do the show with. That's the one that has all of the video, the stuff attached to it, the mic, all of that. So doing it this way is much harder for me. I snapped at somebody. I apologize to the person I snapped at. Guys, I'm trying, man. I really am trying. Hey, Gloria, Ryan Green, how's it going? God, I can't wait till you can change your name back. I apologize that I did that. I know you guys really enjoy this. I know you do. I know you enjoy, me coming on and talking about life and hockey and everything else. And I get it. I really do. But there are just some times where the frustration of life really pounds on me, and it has in the last couple of days. That's why I didn't do anything yesterday. That's why I was not 100% sure I was going to do something today. But then again, it is what it is. And here it is. I get it set up and I'm thinking, okay, I'm good to go. And then all of a sudden my every time I go to the camera, my laptop shuts down. So now I have a problem that I can't fix, or I need a new $2,400 laptop that I can't afford. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So that's what it is. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in the world of hockey today. One of the biggest things happened yesterday, and I'm probably going to say his name wrong, from the Philadelphia Flyers, Ivan Provorov. He is a Russian Orthodox Jew, and yesterday, the Flyers, sorry, fucking glasses. Everything goes, when it goes wrong, everything goes wrong for me. The Flyers had their Pride Night. Well, Ivan, who is Russian Orthodox, did not want to participate. Now, I liked how the narrative came out from a couple saying he refused to participate. I love the use of, I love narrative words. It always, whenever I hear words like that, right? It turns me off. Ivan Provorov didn't refuse to wear the jersey or use the tape. Ivan Provorov made a choice for his personal beliefs that it was not the right time for him to go out and participate in pregame warm-ups to celebrate something that he does not believe in. Look, you need to understand, you can accept something and not believe in it. Okay? My daughter, I have a daughter who is a lesbian, who is homosexual. I love my daughter. I love her girlfriend to death. I have zero issue with any of that community. Right? None. But I do understand that there are people that do have issues with that community. Now, they have every right to have those issues. They really, really do. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. That's what this country is founded on. Ivan Provorov, in my eyes, did not do anything wrong. He has a belief. He stuck up for it. Plain and simple. Right? Look at me with the military, how I am with the military. I want the military jerseys and all that. Well, that's what I believe in, right? There is. I love that hockey's for everyone, and in saying hockey's for everyone, it's also saying that you have to challenge yourself. Ivan Provorov challenged himself and felt that he could not move on, and I'm sorry. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see that he should be fined. I don't see that the NHL should have an issue with it. I don't see that anybody should have an issue with it other than that's his religion, right? That's his religion, plain and simple. Okay, right? That's the end of it. Okay, let's get into some of your comments here real quick. Let's see. Jason Nichols telling Gloria hi. Telling Ashley saying hi. Ashley's got some personal things going on, so she can't be here tonight, but she's in the chat room. Timothy Bowman, welcome Timothy. Welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. Normally I have a different background, having issues with my computer. I'll have to work on that later. He didn't do or say anything hateful. He said, I respect them, but my religion doesn't support them. Plain and simple. That's where it comes from. I don't believe in this cancel culture. I think that we have taken I do not want to get politics involved. I really don't. Hi, Marilyn. But, when it comes down to it, guys, when it straight comes down to it, I don't even know why I'm wearing the headphones now. When it straight comes down to it, it's simply this. Well, okay, I don't understand what quote unquote cancel culture is, right? To say that how many? Here you go. How many of you know that in the Soviet Union until the late 90s, probably mid 90s, homosexuality was illegal. Illegal in the entire country, not just the country, in the entire Soviet bloc, right? In the USSR, the United Socialist Soviet Republics, or United Soviet Socialist Republic, one of the two. I can't remember where that S is. There was a movie about it, and I can't remember the name of the movie. But it was about a Russian serial killer, and the Russian authorities wanted to focus on homosexuality. I mean, they used that to focus on it, right? One of the greatest heroes of World War II. In fact, you could credit this man. You could absolutely credit this man with helping end World War II 3 to 5 years earlier than it could have. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Who is somebody that you could look at and say that single-handedly he probably shortened World War II? All right. There you go. Golf King, you're right. Turning. Right? The Imitation Game. Turning was a homosexual. His house got robbed by someone that he was with, and he ended up being chemical castrated. there's, well, okay, Ash, this is a good point. Um, it's because everyone jumps to conclusions. We believe the first thing we hear, right? You look what happened to me. Look what happened to me. Someone put a rumor out there. Someone said that I did something. And how many people believed it instantly? Instantly. Without knowing the whole truth, without even trying or wanting to find out the whole truth. Instantly believe it. Look how many friends I lost because just like that, this person said it and people believed it. Right? She showed them doctored evidence. Doctored, I have it. I absolutely have it. I have it so I can prove it was doctored. What she showed them is not the actual evidence. She removed a lot of her messages so it looks like something different than what it was. And to me, that's, I don't call that cancel culture. I call that the herd mentality. Right? We just believe, we don't think for ourselves. We need to think for ourselves. Alan Turing, that's right. It took me a second. Well, there's a question whether he died by suicide or he died doing an experiment with what he was using. But, he was censured. He was chemically castrated, and that wasn't right. We need to remember to take everything with a grain of salt. If someone says something about, first of all, I have always had this mentality of, if someone calls me to tell me something someone else did bad, I instantly put a wall up. I instantly go, what is their angle? Right? What is their agenda? Because they have an agenda. Otherwise, they wouldn't have called you. Sorry, I need to turn the fan on. Um, oh, I agree, Jason. I absolutely agree. Right? Just remember that it doesn't matter. I mean, think of all the rumors out there, right? In the hockey world. There's so many rumors out in the hockey world. It's not even funny. In fact, St. Louis had a couple of big ones, right? Um, we had the rumors about Shanahan and the wife thing. That was, no one really knows what that all was. At least none of us, because we weren't in the locker room. We just know what we heard, and we went from there. Look at. Let's go back to 2018-19 in the blue season. All of us looking there, all of us looking at that are going, there's something wrong in the locker room. There's something wrong in the locker room. Yet, what we keep hearing from the media was, oh no, there's nothing wrong in the locker room. There's nothing wrong in the locker room. Locker room's fine. We kept hearing that. Turns out, after a coach is fired and a new coach comes in, the new coach says, yeah, there was an issue in the locker room. And none of the media jumped on that. Right? And we just backed off. Okay, new coach, he took care of it. Good to go. Let's go see how far we can go. Well, now we're looking at the same situation, except it's reversed. We're saying this coach is so great that it can't be an issue in the locker room. If it is, It's all on the players. It's not the coach's fault. Right now, I'll tell you what. And again, I put something out today about Tarasenko could be back, and someone could back. Oh, he's been injured the last 4 or 5 years. Really? He missed 2 games last season, both due to illness, and he led the team in goals and points. Yet he was injured. You know, there's this the Perron, David Perron. I wasn't, and then he used a clarifying word. Let's remember that. Let's remember that. He used a clarifying word. He didn't say I wasn't offered a contract. He said I wasn't formally offered a contract. Okay. What does that mean? Well, it means that the Blues didn't send a paper contract for them to sign. Well, why didn't they? And that's a good point. That's a point that doesn't get talked about. Right? Why didn't the Blues send that contract? Well, I thought about this a lot. And I know Ashley, oh God, I wish Ashley could come on today because I know she disagrees with me on this. I know that Ashley absolutely 1000% completely disagrees with me on this. End of the season, Doug Armstrong, right in front of everybody, tells David Perron, 2 years, $4 million per. That's what we're offering. That's negotiation. That's saying, that's putting the first offer on the table. Here you go. Now, I liken this. How many of you guys out there are big fans of American Pickers or any of the car shows like Gas Monkey Garage or I forget what the name of that show was called. I know that I forget what the name of it. Are any of the shows like that? How many of you are fans of that? American Pickers is probably the best one to do on this, right? American Pickers. And guys, I need your comments, man. I really do. Because with everything going on, if I don't see comments, I'm just going to end the show. Right? I'm going to end it. This is your show, your comments. Hey, Wendy, I seen you, buddy. I seen you, my friend. You see this happen a lot on American Pickers. They're looking at an item. They look at the item and they go, what? How much is, let's say they're looking at this car. What are you asking for this car? And the guy turns around and goes, I want $60,000 for it. Well, it's a $25,000 car, $30,000 at the most. He wants double. That's the I don't want to sell it number. Well, a lot of times the guys just stop. Right? And I'm going to end it today, not permanently. Hopefully I can get my computer fucking fixed. I got to figure out what's going on with it now, or free up some space or do something. But I don't know. We'll see what I can do. Now I got a headache. They'll get that price. They'll get that first price. And then they never negotiate with it. They never come back and say, look, that's like way over what I think it's worth or anything like that. The reverse is what happens here. They put it out 2 years at $4 million. I think Perron wasn't, I'll be honest with you. Perron felt that the offer or the term was too low. Now remember, what did he get in Detroit? He didn't get much more. He got term. He got 4 years, vice 2. 4 years, vice 2. And with that being said, Perron never negotiated with the Blues. They put the first number out there. Now it's on him to come back, and he doesn't. His agent never tells the Blues, never calls the Blues back, never tells them that they want to negotiate, doesn't do anything. So while you want to sit there and say the Blues never formally offered me a contract, you didn't reach back either. Okay? They told you what they were thinking. That was their initial offer. You didn't like it, so you just moved on. And then you blamed them for you moving on. You know, and there's a lot of people out there, and you keep hearing, oh, we didn't want David Perron. We didn't want David Perron. That's not a true statement. Where do you see anything that said the Blues didn't want David Perron? When have you ever heard that? David Perron did not negotiate with the Blues. David Perron didn't want to stay here. If David Perron wanted to negotiate, he would have negotiated. He probably could have gotten that extra $1 million for the 2 years. Right? That is part of what I'm getting at. All right? We dive on that narrative of he wasn't offered a contract. Nah, you got to remember he used a clarifying word. Right? One of the clarifiers that I love, and you hear it all the time. This is the first time since. So it isn't the first time. It just hasn't happened in a while. Yet we clarify it. We clarify it since. Instead of saying this hasn't happened since, we say this is the first time since. Because this is the first time captures you. Right? Tomorrow we have a game, so maybe Friday might be better, Justina. We have the game tomorrow against the Nashville Predators. Yeah. Hopefully I can get my laptop fixed for that one. Right now I've got the Boston New York Islanders game. It's 15:34 to go in the third. 2-1 Boston. Ooh, somebody just got a puck in the face. Oh, Marchand didn't know. Is that Marchand? No. You either got a puck in the face or a stick in the face. Bergeron. Looks like Bergeron. Oh, wow. I didn't see what happened. I don't know if he got a stick or a puck. But he's got his head bent over. It looked like oh, he took a puck right to the chiclets. Ouch. Ouch. Big old puck to the chiclets. The afternoon is slow, so sometimes hockey media needs to make a story more than it is. Perron going to Detroit was a non-event. I agree, right? Well, and that was actually in the next day when he goes on the radio show. And I think the majority of the people miss the clarification word because I always hear it. Well, Perron said they didn't offer him a contract. No, he didn't. No, he did not. That is not what he said. What he said was they didn't formally offer me a contract, meaning they didn't fax something over to his agent. And what he also didn't say is we didn't try and negotiate either. Oh, 3-1. It looks like the Rat just scored. So for me, you got to look at things, right? You got to really pay attention to things. You can't take things at face value. You can never, ever take things at face value, right? You get into this season and you look at this season and everybody has jumped on that narrative. Tarasenko doesn't want to be here. Tarasenko doesn't want to be here. Tarasenko doesn't want to be here. Not one person can show me one thing Tarasenko has ever done to show you that he doesn't want to be here. In fact, I've asked, show me one thing. Well, he said, no, he didn't. The words from Tarasenko saying, I wanted this or I wanted, never came out of his mouth. He has never said, yes, I said that. Now, someone from his camp might have said it, but he didn't. And we don't know how much leeway he gave his camp. We don't. And things can be misconstrued. And I'm absolutely positive that they were misconstrued. 100% positive that they were misconstrued. Darkness, dead on. Jason, yes, I have seen that, and I'm giving it little to no. I'm not putting much on it because I don't think Toronto's going to offer enough. I think Doug Armstrong's going to stick to his guns, and we've shown that in the past. He has shown that even when go back, find a player. I mean, who's the last player that you can think of that was at the end of a contract that the Blues traded away? I have one. I have one that I can think of. And you got to go back pretty far for this, like before the Cup, to find that player that the Blues traded knowing they weren't going to re-sign him. See if anybody can come up with it. Who is the last player, significant player, that was on a contract that the Blues traded instead of signing? Actually, I think Stastny had time left on his contract. Brewer's too far back. Right? No, there's a good one. No, not Gretzky. There's a good one, and it's recent, semi-recent. Not Oshie. This was after Oshie. Wow, I can't believe no one's getting it. Come on. He is still playing. This player is still playing. Nope, not Maroon. They were never trading Maroon. Maroon was just on guys on 1-year contracts don't count. Okay, guys on 1-year contracts don't count. Somebody got it. Darkness. Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk is the last player that I can think of that was on an expiring contract that had basically said he was not going to sign with the Blues. That was moved on. Elliott wasn't on a ending contract. Elliott got traded at the trade deadline. Or not trade deadline at the Elliott got traded at the draft. Shattenkirk is probably the last player that I can think of. I mean, significant player. There might be guys on 1-year contracts, but that got traded knowing they weren't going to sign. Right? I think Backus left. Jackman left. Jackman signed a contract elsewhere. I think Backus I don't know if Backus got traded or not. I got to think about that one. But no, the last time that I can think of the Blues trading a player that was on the end of a contract that wasn't going to resign is Shattenkirk. They kept Petro. I think the Blues knew he wasn't going to sign. I think they knew it, right? Backus was a free agent, okay, right? Okay, but Jackman's left as a UFA. He wasn't traded, right? I'm talking about a guy at the end of a contract, like right now, like Tarasenko, Barbashev, and O'Reilly are. End of a contract. and the Blues trade him because they know they're not going to re-sign him. The last one that I can think of is Shattenkirk, and I want to say that was in 16-17 or 17-18. That was before. That was well before the Cup. It's not like a new trend, right? It's been a while. The Blues, for the most part, will take guys, don't trade guys. 16-17. Yeah, so yeah. It's something to think about because it plays into all the stuff that we're kind of looking at right now. Right? It looks into all the stuff that we're looking into right now. Oh, it looks like Boston scored again. Might have been Marchand again. Sorry about the shaky camera there. So with all of that said, what makes you think that it's going to be different now? What makes you think that they're going to trade O'Reilly, that they're going to trade Tarasenko, that they're going to trade Barbashev? Because we haven't shown that. He values his play. Doug Armstrong does something that for me is pretty significant and that I enjoy, is that he overvalues his players. Right? Not today, Wendy, because I'm having computer issues and I don't want to put my headphones back on. And the only way I could do it is put the headphones on right now. And I'm not with this computer setup. I don't want to do that. Forgive me, Wendy. All right. But I think I got a pretty good topic today, man. This is what Jake Allen, though, left in a draft day trade. Right? Allen left with a draft day trade. So did Elliott. Brian Elliott. Draft day trade. So, well, actually, Brian Elliott might have been like Brian Elliott, pardon me. Jake Allen was an off-season trade. It wasn't a draft day, it was an off-season trade. So just that's the kind of things that I'm thinking about. Armstrong is going to value Tarasenko and O'Reilly extremely high. Now, he may not value Barbashev that high. I could see Barbashev being the guy traded. I really could. The issue with Barbashev is he's a $2.8 million guy. He doesn't free up a lot of cap space. And what are you going to get for him? Right? You're not going to get something. You don't get something. You don't get a now player. Right? Oh, see, Dale? Dale, you should have been watching this show because I have talked about that's not news. That's not news. And it wasn't Quinn that took it off the table. Okay? It was Keenan that took it off the table. Keenan was the GM. Quinn was the president of hockey operations. That was Keenan that told Quinn to take it off the table. Right? Well, here's the thing. This was Keenan had these. I had one of my earliest interviews was with Bruce Affleck, who was a member of the team, not in the front office then, and he basically said there was a contract, terms signed, agreed to, basically everything agreed to, and Keenan screwed it up. Right? I don't know. I'm not complete. So Bob says clean house, top to bottom, army to boards, keep the young guys and rebuild. This team's or version of the Blues is terrible. I'm not sold on that. Okay. Uh, Dale, Dale, Quinn is the one that physically did it, but it wasn't his decision. He was told to do it by Keenan. Right? That's trust me, I know the whole story. I know this was not news to me. Okay, and those guys, I'm talking about okay, first of all, oh man, you guys are, yeah, okay. The type of trades that I'm talking about are draft day, are not draft day, trade deadline deals where a player is not going to resign. The last time that happened was Shattenkirk. Everybody else that we have traded has either been uh, a draft day deal or an off-season deal, not a trade deadline deal. Shattenkirk is the last one. Or off-season. No, Keenan was not very smart. Not rebuild, retool. I'm more with the retool. However you want to call it, darkness, but drastic changes are needed. I agree, drastic changes are needed. I do. But looking at this team, not not the output, but the team itself on paper, shouldn't they be better? Right? Darkness, I'd have to look at that, but I thought Stastny had a year left. Right? I thought Stastny had a year left. I'd have to look at it, Darkness. But would you consider? I don't know if Stastny would be considered a significant player. I guess he would, but still, right? Um, so it might have been. It might have been Stastny. Uh, I think in my eyes, Shattenkirk was probably a more significant player than Stastny, especially here. Stastny was a bust here. Stastny was a bust here. That I see with Stastny. I think Stastny was more the Blues weren't going to re-sign him, and Shattenkirk basically said he wasn't going to resign with the Blues. So that might be the difference there. Right? Okay, Darkness. But again, that's kind of where I see the difference there. The Blue, I think with Stastny, had the Blues offered him a contract, he'd have signed. The Blues weren't offering Stastny a contract. With Shattenkirk, basically he said he wasn't going to sign back. He had said that, he felt his time was done here. Yeah, Jason, I kind of agree with you there. We did see that. Let's talk about tomorrow now. Tomorrow, the Blues are going to face the Nashville Predators. It's a huge 4-point game, right? Huge 4-point game. You need to win this game to increase that distance between you and them with them having games in hand. You won't beat the margin, but you will lessen it, right? If you lose that game, not good at all. Not good at all. You absolutely have to take that game tomorrow. Nashville's beatable. We know that. I actually think we beat them once already this season. Didn't we beat them earlier this season? I thought we did. I thought we beat them in Nashville. I could be wrong. Actually, I think they have 2 games at hand. I'd have to look. I haven't looked at the standings in a couple of days. I don't remember when they played last. If they played yesterday, they may only have one game in hand. But the last I looked, I thought they had two, and we were 1 point ahead of them. I'm trying to get there, guys. Give me a second. I mean, I should know. Darkness usually he's up on this, so most times I think he's right. But I want to double check because the last I looked, and I said the last I looked. So here we go. Well, see, actually, the Predators have one game in hand, but they're 1 point ahead of you. So even winning this game, you don't beat the margin. You get ahead of them by a point, but they still have the game in hand, right? Colorado, who's tied with you, has 3 games in hand. That's 6 points, right? And not only that, you're 4 points out of the second wild card spot. And out of third, you are the same force point. No, you're even more. You're 7 points out of third, right? And for all you guys who told me the Winnipeg Jets were going to suck and that this wasn't going to last, they're tied for first. They're tied for first, right? I told you I thought the Jets were going to be that second place team. I thought the Blues were going to be first, so I will say that. But so Darkness was right. So they're a point ahead. So this is a huge game. Huge game. It's probably going to be Soros, right? My guess is Soros. That is a good question, and I don't know. That could go a lot of different ways. You know, Robert, that's looking like a possibility. It really is. Well, first of all, Tank isn't going to the Oilers. I can almost guarantee you that. Tank is not going to the Oilers. That team has never been on his radar. You have never heard that team mentioned when it came to him, other than out-of-town pundits. Well, the list that he submitted tells just the way that we dealt. I don't think that Oilers are on his list at all, right? I don't think he's going to a Canadian team. Remember, with Tarasenko, this is what's so fucking funny when it comes down to Tarasenko. He has a no trade clause. He can go to Doug Armstrong and say, I would be willing to be traded to these teams. Doug Armstrong can go, okay, Tarasenko, we have a trade in place for this. And Tarasenko can turn around and look and say, you know what, Doug, I changed my mind. Sorry. It's that simple. Yes, he can do that. He has to approve the trade. He has to approve the trade. And he is not going to approve a trade to just anybody. So him to the Oilers, I don't see. And again, I have a hard time seeing Armstrong making this trade because he hasn't done it in so long. You know, Stastny, not a significant player like ORR. Even Shattenkirk, not as significant as ORR or Tarasenko. Go back and look at significant players. Perron, not traded. Hoffman, not traded. Pietrangelo, not traded. Right? So, for me, I just don't see it. The offer would have to blow him away, and I don't think anybody's going to do that. I don't think anybody's going to do that. We have seen that Armstrong is content letting guys walk. He's very content. See, I disagree. I think that he's too family oriented. He's not going away for a majority of the season. I just don't see that, and he's not moving his family for half the season. I just don't see that. If he's going somewhere, it's going to be a place that he's going to stay permanently, that he's going to sign a deal. It's going to be a trade and sign. It's absolutely. Right? I just, Dale, and I'm not trying to, I don't want you to think I'm discounting what you're saying, but I'm not. I'm just telling you how I feel, what I see, and what the tea leaves are telling me. And I'll be honest with you. You listen to a majority of the national media, and I've talked to some national media, and I got to tell you, I've gotten more disinformation from the national media than I have from anybody else. I've talked to national media. I've talked to players, right? I've talked to some coaches. And I tell you what, I've gotten more disinformation from the national media than I have anybody else. Right? I got told something from a national media member, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, no way. And he tried to, make me buy into it. And I said, okay. No, I don't. No, I don't. And the funny thing with Ryan Miller is, and this is what I never understood with Ryan Miller. All the talk was about Ryan Miller coming here. And Ryan Miller never once said, I do more than read stuff, Dale. I do more than read stuff. I have people's names in my phone that I call and that I talk to. Right? Just Dale, and this isn't a knock on you or anything. I'm trying to be a media member. So I call these guys and I ask them. And I ask questions that the general public doesn't ask. Right? I called the media member and I told him, look, I think you guys are missing something with Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas absolutely told you that there was an issue in the locker room with the coaching staff and you glossed over it. I had a media member tell me I was right there, and I don't think that's what he was saying. It's exactly what he was saying. How could you read it anywhere else? Right? Going back to this Ryan Miller comment. With Ryan Miller, the thing with that was, so Ryan Miller to St. Louis was there for a long time. And not one time did Ryan Miller ever come up and say, I don't want to play in St. Louis? Never once. Think if he would have said that. Do the Blues trade for him? Right? Remember, you traded a pretty good goalie to get Ryan Miller. You had to give up a pretty decent goalie who's still playing in the league today to get Ryan Miller. And you might be right. He did want out of Buffalo. But to come to St. Louis and just not want to play there, I mean, he was an absolute sieve. And fuck, I'd have benched him. Because he just didn't, the way he played, and to keep playing him, knowing that he just didn't want to be there. I'm sorry. I don't think Tarasenko would ever do that. Tarasenko's shown me absolutely nothing in his style of play that he would do that, where Ryan Miller did show that in his style of play. to me. Hey, we haven't talked about who said hello. Randy Childers. Oh, I haven't seen that name in a while. John Hefner, Marianne Listener, Timothy Bowman, Nick Halsey, Hesley, Jason Nichols, Gloria Spear. Thank you for putting those thumbs in the air. We greatly, graciously appreciate it. Somebody said we need defense and Tarasenko will not help. I disagree with that because the best defense is what? A good offense. Right? I wouldn't have pulled the goalie 4-1 lead. I might have pulled it with a 4-2 lead. You know, you guys are making a big deal out of this pulling the goalie, right? And I think you're making a big deal out of it the wrong way. Okay? The problem isn't the time left that he's pulling the goalie. Because if you do it right, pulling the goalie works. It's not the time on the clock that matters. What matters is the situation. Too many times, Berube pulls the goalie before the Blues have possession in the cycle because he's worried about time. Okay. He's worried about time. That shouldn't matter. The time on the clock should never matter. It should be the situation. It should absolutely be what is the situation. And if that's what you're looking at, I don't know about that. Nah, I don't think we were. The players didn't want to be there in the bubble, so I don't think it matters. Brad Pond, how you doing, Brad? I hope so. I love Barbie, and he's cheap. Jake looked great the other night. Yeah, you got to see a good game, man. Well, good game in Montreal's perspective. I'm glad you got to go. But I apologize to you. I know you want to come on the show, and I do want to bring you on. I have to be in a very good headspace to bring you on, and I also need my computer working much better. So until I can get there, I think during the bye week after the All-Star game, that will be the best time to bring you on, right? With very little going on, that just might be the best time to do things. So kind of let's work on it that way, okay, bud? And I hope you're not upset, right? Brad Pond, Tammy Pemberton, thank you. Oh, thank you, man. I can't believe I got through an hour today, man. I really can't. I'm surprised. I didn't think I would make an hour today, but I have. Guys, thank you so much. We'll be on tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be back on my laptop, on my regular laptop, so I can figure that out. See what I can get figured out with that. We'll kind of go from there. Lingering? No, he shouldn't have. Darkness. Lingering was not that. No. Darkness. Darkness, are you trying to? Oh my goodness. My Canucks friend Michael has showed up. Hi, Michael. Yeah, good for the Avs. Not good for you, I guess. Who are they playing? Are they playing? Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I got too many things going on. Usually I have 2 laptops or 3 laptops. I don't right now, so it makes it harder to see things. Yeah, the Avalanche are playing the Flames, and they're up 2-0 on them. With 7:57 to go in the first. Senators over the Penguins 5-4. Brady got the overtime winner. Bruins 4-1 over the Islanders, and the Stars and the Sharks are coming up. Right, that's your out of town scoreboard brought to you by me. Okay, guys. Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, Shaggy, how you doing, buddy? Unfortunately, I'm ending it now. I'm having computer issues, so need Avs to win. I don't know about that. I mean, that would put them like way ahead of us, man. I don't know about the Avs need to lose as many games and where we're not playing as possible, right? Yeah, Bruins are got a strong team. Montgomery's just taking that team to a new level. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a night here. Hopefully, I can get things fixed up for tomorrow. So, everyone, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha mahalo, and I'll see you tomorrow night on the BlueNote Fan Report as the St. Louis Blues take on the Nashville Predators at the Enterprise Center. Aloha.